What's up guys, Action Fear Addict 112 here, and we are going to be taking a look at the DC Collectibles DC Films Superman. So I need to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Strident for pointing me in the direction of this figure. Because I remember seeing his review, I think back in 2017, that's how long ago it was. That I remember seeing him review this figure, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And at that time I was looking around, no one had them. And then so I put him on my list of figures that I was looking for. And you know, whenever there's figures that are coming out that I'm just not feeling, I usually go back to that list and, you know, look it over and look to see if there's any of these that I can check off. And I was able to check off 3 actually, and one of them was this figure. And getting him in hand, it's like, man, it really sucks that, you know, DC Collectibles, or I think they're DC Direct now, went down the way that they did, because I remember sending a post to Strident, and I think I sent it to Yende too, where DC Collectibles had a whole other wave of these figures planned, where we were supposed to get Zod and his gang, Farah, and I can't remember the other dude's name, but we were supposed to get movie versions of them from Man of Steel. We were supposed to get Wonder Woman and Batman from BVS, and then we were supposed to get El Diablo, Harley, and someone else from Suicide Squad. And all those got canned because DC Collectibles went down. And it really sucks because you have these little gems like this Superman, and you have little gems like the DC icon Supergirl, which now getting her in hand is one of my favorite fucking Supergirl figures ever. I mean, the DC Essentials one is not a horrible figure, but I mean, when you put the two side by side, it's like, you know, the DC Icons one, it just captures that classic look for Kara, and I really like it. And she's just more vibrant because she has the bright red, while the Essentials one just has the darker red. And shout out to Allende for pointing me in the direction of that icon Supergirl. Appreciate that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this DC Collectibles Superman, and I will be comparing him to the multiverse Snyder Cut Superman and Mafex's version of this look for Soup Standard Cavill BVS look, because holy Jesus, ooh, it's not looking good for Mafex at this time. So yeah, with that being said, sit back, relax, and let's take a look at this beautiful, beautiful figure. In terms of his paint, the paint is actually really, really nicely done. There's bits of red, gold, and silver throughout. There we go. So as you can see right there on the S on the chest, look how beautiful that is. It's this nice kind of, I wouldn't say super glossy, but like a semi-gloss red, or like a semi-gloss dark red, and then the beautiful gold in there to bring out the S. You have gold throughout the belt of the suit, or the waist area of the suit, and then you have these areas that have this like metallic blue running on the wrists, the kind of ribbing of the costume. where the sides, where the ribbing would be, and then throughout the thighs, the costume. It's so beautifully done, and I love this blue because it just brings out, because all of this kind of shines under light, it just brings this out more. So nicely done. And it looks like they actually did this metallic silver around the rim of the Superman logo. That's just beautifully done. If you look on the back, there's more of that metallic blue, except it runs down the spine of the suit, and then you can see it running throughout more, and then ends right here at the bottom of the belt. But yeah, and if we look at the face, in terms of the face is beautifully painted. Just surprising because, you know, usually don't expect this kind of thing from domestic figures. I don't know why it's wanting to focus on Tracer, but I've had this issue. Okay, there we go. So as you can see on the face, look how beautiful those eyes are painted. They're beautiful. The eyes are blue, you can tell they're blue. The dots for the pupils. There's no slop, you can tell that that's straight ahead, no wonky eyes, no nothing. Eyebrows are really cleanly done, no slop. And then the hair is just beautifully done too. They captured the, you know, the Clark Kent kind of slick back hair. But you can tell there's a little bit of curls in the hair too. He's got like the wavy hair, kind of like Cap, which is cool. You know, you can see just all this beautiful paint work, and notice there's no slop. Look at the lips. Doesn't look like he has lipstick, nothing. And it's amazing to me, you know, that this is a domestic figure and it already feels like an import quality figure, you know, where, you know, some domestic figures, you know, the faces are just, excuse me, they're fucked sometimes, and it's just like, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because the company, well, import company that I can think of, I can't remember if Figure Arts did a BVS Superman, but I know they did a Justice League one. But this is the Mafex Superman. It's like, yikes, you know, the head sculpt is fine, but it's like, you know, no, thank you, I will happily take this quality over this quality here. So yeah, as you can see, the paintwork on the suit is really nicely done, but that, like, what is, So now that we got the paint out of the way, let's take a look at his sculpt. Okay, so we're gonna look at Soup's sculpt now. So in terms of his sculpt, I'm digging it. First thing that I want to point out is the texturing on the suit. I love it. And it's weird that we kind of get it on Superman figures, but we don't very often get texture on Spider-Man suits, which is weird because the suit has always had texture, you know what I mean? The Peter B. Parker that I reviewed had actual texture on the suit, which is awesome. You know, I like when companies do that, but here it's just beautifully done, and this is how it looked in the movie. And I like how there's kind of this like meshy material for the suit itself, and then when you get up here, there's like line work sculpted in there, but with the mesh detail. See that? See how there's kind of lines running throughout the S and the Superman logo? It's fucking awesome. These lines, again, these lines that I pointed out with the paint, I love that these are sculpted on here because it makes the suit look more, you know, alien-esque, which is awesome because, you know, Superman's an alien. You know, he's not from this planet, he's from Krypton, so it's cool that it kind of matches with, you know, the look of the Kryptonians that we got to see, like with Jor-El and some of the other Kryptonians. They had this kind of design throughout the suit, so it's cool that, you know, they carried that on to, you know, this costume. The boots, I love these boots. They don't just look like regular boots. You know, they got some kind of flair to them, some design, and they look like they're a separate sculpt. You know, they break up the blue, which I like that. As you can see, they have the kind of same meshy material. You can see the trim, the red trim on the bottom of the boots, and then the soles. Just looks really nice. And then we'll talk about the one, well, let me talk about the one thing that I've noticed a lot of people have said. I've seen a lot of reviews on this figure as I was anticipating his arrival. I got this dude a couple months ago, so maybe about a month ago. But as I was waiting for him to come in the mail, I was watching some reviews. I went back and rewatched Strident's review, and a lot of people said this doesn't look like Henry Cavill. That is Henry Cavill's likeness. I don't know what was going on with their figure, but I mean, it looked like Henry Cavill in their review, and it looks like Henry Cavill here. And there's no mistaking that, no matter which way you light it. You know, if you light it like this, where it's the shadows kind of take over the suit, it looks like Henry Cavill. I mean, it even has a little indent in the chin. Like, the fuck? You know what I mean? And even his hair is right, too. It's got that kind of old school, you know, the old man cut is what I call it. Like the Captain America cut, where it's, you know, his hair is all kind of curly-ish, you know, but it's slicked back. Like he put some gel or something in it and he slicked back his hair, and it has that kind of shine to it, but you can tell there's some kind of curls going on the side, which I like that. You know what I mean? That's an iconic thing with Superman. It's one of his most iconic features, besides, you know, the red and the blue suit, and then the Superman logo and the red cape. You know what I mean? It's his hair. So I like that. I also like the neck because, oh man, I am going to try not to show this figure too much because, oh man, is this figure a hot piece of garbage. Ooh, Lord, save us. So, as you can see, I don't know what the fuck Mafex was on when they were doing this figure, but oh boy, they were clearly on something, because they managed to paint his head a different color from his neck. So somehow his face is tanner than his neck, but his face matches the same colors as his hands. So, like, it's like he stuck his fucking head out of the tanning, or I don't know what happened, like, but somehow he was wearing like a scarf or a neck brace, and he went to go get a spray tan, and they sprayed everything but his neck. So I don't know
what is going on there, but that is, ooh, I do like how this one has the mesh material though, and has, you know, these lines, Superman logo. But ooh, this figure's got all kinds of issues. This one here, no. But you know what? Let me leave him in real quick here so I can talk about one last thing. His proportions. I love the proportions on the Superman. As you can see here, focus out. Look at that difference. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you can tell this one is like Henry Cavill Superman, and this is like, I don't know who the fuck that is, because that's not Superman. You know what I mean? This is what I was talking about with the musculature. You know what I mean? Look how everything is built proportionate. Like, he looks like, corn-fed boy from Kansas that lived on a farm. You know, I mean, he looks like a farm boy. You know, a lot of manual labor on a farm, plus, you know, Kryptonian in his blood. You know, that is the end result. This, I don't know what this is, because this isn't fucking Superman. That's not Superman. And it's weird because McFarlane, even though I like to bash McFarlane sometimes, because he makes some like out there choices. He did the black and silver suit for Superman, but for some reason the red and blue one was Target exclusive. Which, why, who, what, when, where, why, how, I don't know. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the proportions here for Supes. I mean, look at that. Even McFarlane got it right. You know, I mean, he looks buff. You know, I mean, he looks muscular. And then there's just this scrawny ass Superman. So this is terrible. I'm getting this off camera. That's fucking pitiful. But anyway, yeah, you know, it looks good. I like it. So props to DC Collectibles. It's a real shame though that things went down the way that they did, because we were supposed to get a Zod, we were supposed to get a Farah. I think that's how you pronounce her name. The two members of Zod's gang, we're supposed to get those. We're supposed to get a BVS Wonder Woman. We're supposed to get a BVS Batman to go with the Superman. We're supposed to get a lot of figures, and we didn't. And it's a real shame because, man, there goes Major Makoto, which I did do a review on her, so I did keep my promise. But anyway, that being said, we're going to take a look at his accessories now. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Soup's accessories. So in terms of his accessories, he comes with 2 extra sets of hands, an extra head, and some laser beam pieces. So in terms of the extra head that he comes with, as you can see, the eyes are hollowed out. So you can plug in the effects. As you can see, it still looks like Henry Cavill. He's just looking a little bit more agitated. So there's that. Then there's these laser beam effects. These could have been painted a little bit better, and this is where I have an issue. So this is where I have an issue with the figure. Instead of these being painted translucent, they're painted in a solid red color. So this is what they look like. If I can get it to focus instead of focusing on Nell's back there. Yeah. Just got it to focus. Okay, we'll leave Soups there. So you can see how they're not translucent, they're just kind of this red color. So when you plug them into the eyes, and there's little slots, so you know which eye you're plugging in, which eye you're plugging it into. And there's little divots, so you know which eye you're plugging into the right one. Okay. I couldn't find where Homelander's alternate head is that you're supposed to plug this into at the moment. I'm pretty sure it's around here somewhere. It's just lost at the moment. But anyway, this is the beam effect that came with his eyes. This is from NECA. See? It's beam effect right there, and the laser beams running, and then little pegs where you plug it into his eyes. On Soups here, oh Jesus, it looks like someone ripped his fucking eyes. It just looks like someone just went and grabbed Superman's eyes, one in each hand, and just pulled really hard on them, and that's the after effect. Or his eyes are just being ripped out of his fucking head. And that is like, what the fuck? It's like, had they done it in like a translucent plastic, it would have been fine, but it just looks like someone ripped his eyes out. And that kind of sucks. So I'm probably not going to use this head with him just because of that sole purpose of it looks like someone ripped his eyes out. So it kind of sucks. I mean, you know, like I said, beam effects have been done better. It's just, you know, that it is what it is. And we won't even get a Justice League version because DC Collectibles doesn't exist anymore, or DC Director, whatever they were called before. And then these are the alternative hands that he comes with. Set of kind of open hands, and then a pair of fists. And then this is what Mafex did for their BVS Batman. I want to do a comparison between the two, just to show you. They kind of gave you these kind of sprawled out hands, and then they gave you these hands right there, and they gave you this head, which again is big yikes. Big fucking yikes. It's supposed to be like a beaming up eyes effect, but it just looks like he's blind. It's like blind Superman. His lips are all fucked up. Like, no. But yeah, I don't know why they gave him these hands. He's like those hands, but yeah, I don't get it. Which I guess you can say that's what these are supposed to be. But yeah, he doesn't really have any like chopping hands, you know, like just straight, you know, chopping hands for flight hands. So you'll have to use the fists. But you know, these work as flight hands, and the fists work as flight hands. But at least he has alternative hands. I can give DC Collectibles that because, as you can see, Valkyrie's down over there. She fell over and her faceplate fell off. But, you know, at least he comes with alternative hands. McFarlane giving us a Superman with a punching hand and an open hand the fuck is that, man? No flying hands, no nothing. It's like, of course, but fucking Batman comes with alternative hands, right? Because he's Batman. It's like, again, another kick in the balls to Superman, as always. But yeah, props to DC Collectibles for the accessories. So we will get into the articulation now. Move this out of the way real quick. Okay, so now we're going to get into his articulation. So in terms of his articulation, his neck is on a double ball, so he can look down this much. He can look all the way up this much, which is going to be great for flight poses. You can look to the left, you can look to the right. Superman's got some sass in his head. His arms rotate 360. They can go up this much. They can go down this much. It's a bicep swivel. Bend right here. So a double joint in the arm there. And then he does have a wrist swivel right here. So 360 in the wrist. Can go up and down. If you turn it, it can go side to side. Can go. Okay. Well, it's not wanting to cooperate. There we go. It can go side to side. Right there. Oh, I'm gonna do it this way. So it's not blocking the thing, because I noticed I did that last time with Mikoto, and you can barely see it. So move his arm forward this much, can move it back right there, so a butterfly joint there. In terms of his ab articulation, you can crunch forward this much, make sure, yeah, crunch forward this much. Crunch all the way back this much. Again, for those flight poses, you can go side to side there. You can get all kinds of movement up there. You can kick up this much. Yeah, he can kick up this much. He can kick, technically he can kick back this much, but because there's that drop down joint like the figure arts, this allows him to kick up way more. It allows him to move his leg back way farther, but then you're gonna have that gap. He does have a thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees, which is nice. He has a toe hinge that can go back that much, forward that much, and there's a little bit of ankle rocker. So if you wanted to get him in, say, a flight pose, let's see. Let me just real quick try to get his hands in front of him. See, with that, if you wanted a little bit more outwards, you can do that too, because the articulation allows him to move back that much. If you wanted him to do like kind of like he's looking down, like he's just kind of floating, you know, like he's in the air, he's floating. Show you like that, like he spotted Doomsday, or he spotted Darkseid, and he's he spotted someone who needs help. He's kind of floating in the air, and then he can just, you know what I mean? You can get those poses. If you want like I did do a pose where I had him walking, and I had to do a little bit of trickery, a little bit of tips and tricks, but I didn't manage to get his cape to kind of look like it was flowing on the back of him. You'll see that in this video, but as you can see, he can cross his. Hang on a minute. Or right here, where you can get his arms, crossed, or if you wanted him kind of standing proud, his hands on his hips, you can do that too. Or if you want him to kind of look up as he's doing it. Excuse me. You can do all this stuff because he's engineered to do all this. I will say though, if you move his legs, because of the drop down joint, you're gonna have to push on both the legs and push up. That way you can level him out again, because otherwise he'll look like he's sashaying or something. But with that being said, let's go ahead and cover the scaling and then my final thoughts. Okay, so we're going to cover scaling and my final thoughts. So we'll cover scaling first. So in terms of some characters I'll be using as a, to see how he scales with. Here's the Rebel Tech Amazing Yamaguchi All Might. And as you can see, this is America's Superman, and this is Japan's version of Superman. And as you can see, they look really nice together, and that's fucking awesome. So yeah, I really dig the way those two look. So yeah, that's how those two compare. Here's how it compares to another one of my favorites that is, kind of equivalent to Superman. Here is the Dasein One Punch Man, the third party One Punch Man from Dasein. This is with a custom cape that I did. So this is with the Dasein third party One Punch Man. So as you can see, they scale really well too. This is with a kind of custom soft goods cape that I did. This one looks different from here we go. Well, whenever I do that, yeah, as you can see, they look really good together. I did do a review of this figure, so you can check that out. It's kind of one of my earlier reviews, but here he is next to another Superman. This is the McFarlane Justice League Snyder Cut Superman. You can see this one is another soft goods cape I did. Not as great as that last one, but it works. It works for what it is. It works for what it is. If you want one of the best in the game for handmade figure capes, Strident's the dude. He's been doing custom capes for years, so yeah, he has the better looking fig capes than I do. So, but yeah, this is a nice comparison between the two. I kind of like what McFarlane did. As you can see, the scale is completely different. But I mean, if this is, if you can't, if you don't have any luck getting the DC Collectibles one, this is a nice comparison, or a nice alternative. He doesn't come with, an extra set of hands, to swap out the hands. But this is a nice alternative for the black and silver suit, which this is also my favorite suit for soups. But the sculpt is really nice on the face. It looks like Henry Cavill, and his hair is slicked back the way that this one is. There's a lot of detail, For $20, it's not bad. But that's next to the McFarlane Superman. Here he is next to the DC Icons Supergirl, which I plan on doing a review of her too before the end of the year. Because, again, another solid figure from DC Collectibles before they, RIP, before they kick the bucket, essentially. Let's see. Here he is next to the Mezco Ascending Knight Batman, which I plan on taking a look at the Ascending Knight and the Sovereign Knight. Yeah, the Sovereign Knight. Pretty soon too. So, but yeah, that's how those two look. And then I did not do a Figure Arts figure, and I didn't do a Figma figure. So, in terms of a Figma figure, here's how he scales next to the Figma Tracer from Overwatch, and this is how he scales next to the SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider X-Aid Mighty Action X Level 2. And then in terms of a Mafex figure, we'll do a better one because I'm tired of looking at that Soups. That Mafex Soups makes me sad. Here's the Mafex Gwenpool, which I feel is a nice closer for this one. So yeah, those are my comparisons. So my final thoughts on this figure. It's a really nicely done figure from DC Collectibles. Unfortunately, this dude goes for some coin, man, on the secondary market. He was originally, I think, $30 when he came out. I paid $60 for him off Macari. I had to really negotiate with the seller, and I had to be patient. And I think I got him for $45, but then after tax and shipping, I think it was like $50 maybe, or $60. It was like either $50 or $60. I can't remember. But I know it was around $40 or $50 is what I paid. I think it was like $45, maybe $40. I can't remember. It was that long ago, and my memory sucks. But anyway, if you can get him for a good price, get him. eBay, Macari are going to be your best options unless you stumble upon him on a toy show or at a local store that sells older figures. Then maybe you might find them, but don't pay more than $40. I'd say 40 is like the minimum. 50 to like 55 is the maximum. But if you like Henry Cavill as Superman and you're looking for a good Superman figure, this is perfect. It's perfect. The only other figure I can think of that's better than this is the Mezco version of the BVS Soups. But this one's perfect. And he looks really good next to, other superheroes, like Saitama and, All Might. They all look good together. And then he even looks good next to Kara too. I like the way that they scale, that he's a little bit taller. But yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for me. Thank you very much for watching this review. This will probably be up after my birthday, so yeah. I do plan on sitting down here and doing a little sit down video. If I, stumble across anything while I'm out and about that I was looking for, picked up a couple things that are worth talking about, then I will, because there's definitely some figures on this table that I want to talk about, or this review area that I want to talk about, that I don't think are going to get reviews, but I do want to talk about them, especially this chick over here, the see that dragon armor girl over there? Yeah, she's gonna get talked about because she's pretty cool, but Jesus, man, what a pain in the ass it was to put her together. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and Action Figure Addict 112 out.
Here comes a new challenger!